What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, gonna go over the trades we ended up taking today inside the Discord, as well as the game plan going into tomorrow. So going into today, this is what we ended up looking like. If we just look here, 655 puts for Friday, 10's below the 50. If we go to the call side, this is actually the wrong contract. This is not supposed to be the 660s, I don't think. I think it's supposed to be the let's see, where is it? 665s and then 655s. Yeah. Okay, so call side 10's below the 50, put side 10's below the 50. What does that mean? We're neutral. And then if we just go to the fib levels here on ES, same thing. We're back. We're in this neutral range right here between the 100% and the 123.6. We've been neutral the last 2 days. You guys can see what ended up happening yesterday. I didn't make a video, but I did take 2 losses. One of them was shorting this level down here, because you guys can see first 30-minute candle ended up closing below it, and we went at least 10 points below. It went like almost like 22 points below it. So I tried playing that retest, and I also tried a put cross before that retest, which just didn't end up working out. Took 2 losses, and then today we actually didn't end up taking anything. So it's kind of like taking loss back-to-back days, if you want to think about it like that. But yeah, we're 0 for 2 on the week. Price action just hasn't been like great the last 2 days. Very, very choppy. You guys can see yesterday was super choppy after that morning move down. And then today we had a gap up and just chop. So they're like, the New York session just hasn't been great. If we just look here, I mean, there's not much going on. We ended up hitting this fib right off of open. If you wanted to, this is the top of the range. You could have tried a short. Personally, for me, I'm waiting for the range to break, especially at this point now. Like, I'm not looking to grab a dip at the 65.94 or short the 66.75, just because we've been in this range for a bit. Like, eventually this is going to break. More tests of the range. Like, I'm not interested in taking it. Just not a high quality setup in my opinion. So I'm waiting for the range to break before I do anything. So yeah, it's kind of what we're looking like on ES. And today's price action, the only trade was this short at 66.75. If we go to the puts now, 0DT chart, or just the 0DT chart in general, there was really nothing to take. I mean, if we look here, we got no cross here on the call side today, nothing to take. If we look, this is actually not the right contract either. Let's see, 658 puts right here. You guys can see on the puts, no cross down in here. Rejected the 50 a few times, broke above the end of the day. And then if we go to the 660 calls right here, you guys can see no cross. This opening move right here, obviously super extended for the moving averages. This isn't something I'd be taking. Crosses right off open, they're just not high probability. Like on the 930 candle, if they set up after like 940 or something like that, sure. If this did eventually go and cross at like 945, if this didn't, curl down and break the 50, yeah, sure. If we got the cross, it's probably a valid trade you could have taken off of that. But again, we hit that fib level off of open. But I'm just saying, like, in general, if it's like a cross off of open that's valid to take, then, I'm not really looking to enter in the first 5 to 10 minutes. If it happens like after that, like, after like 15 minutes, sure. But typically my trades are usually always after 10 a.m. First 30 minutes, that's usually how it goes, because with how the fib levels work, if we're taking a fib trade, usually if we open below a fib, if we break a fib off of the open, we need that first 30-minute candle to close. So a lot of the times, like, that's what we did yesterday. We closed below the fib, first 30-minute candle. So after 10 o'clock is when the candle, or when we took a trade. We did take a cross before that though, so that was a trade before 10 a.m. But typically that's usually when the trades happen. Like, usually a little bit after 10 a.m. I feel like is when the trades do end up setting up. But yeah, it's kind of what the price action looked like. Very, very sloppy. Nothing really interesting to take or intriguing. Being wanting to be glued to the charts when price action was terrible. So going into tomorrow, we're neutral, like I said. If we look on the higher time frames, like, what are we currently looking like? So if we look on the 4-hour, this chart is very, very ugly on the puts. Definitely not a good look here on the put side here on the 4-hour. But then again, we still have the monthly contracts, which are, let's see, what are these looking like? We're probably near the 50 somewhat. Yeah, so we're kind of hovering around this 4-hour 50 here and this daily 50. These are going to be the key charts you're going to want to watch over the next couple of days, next week, because this 50 is going to be your major support. And with that, like, 4-hour chart starting to cross down, you have to think about it though. Tomorrow's going to be Thursday. So on Friday we're gonna be picking new contracts. So next week it'll be a lot easier to kind of give us some more insight on where we're going. But like higher time frame picture is still bearish because of this chart right here. 10's above the 50 on the monthlies, and you know we're above the 50 at the moment. Not saying that this could not break, but you know, as long as we're above this 50 and we hold it, I'm bearish. If we, you know, start to close below it, I would lean more bullish. You know, the weekly charts are definitely leaning more so bearish, so it's kind of like conflicting signals at the moment. But I'm always going to go with the higher time frame picture, and that's what the monthlies look like. So overall, you know, I'm still bearish. I still think we're going to end up going lower. Who knows if it may not happen like this month. Maybe in April we get the move lower. We maybe just consolidate around this area at this 50. Maybe we do end up like pumping a bit, slightly breaking below the 50, and before it crosses the negative, we get like a reclaim of it. That happens so many times in the past when it came to the calls. So yeah, for me, this chart is a very big deal. I still favor down. And for tomorrow, what are we going to be looking for? Very, very simple day. Zero DT cross on either side will work, or you don't have to take any of those and just wait for the range to break before you take anything. If you want to play it safe, I'd recommend waiting for the range to break. It'll just give you more, you know, conviction on where we're going once we get out of this area. So 100% mark, 123.6. Those are your two pivots. I'm not taking anything off of these for tomorrow. There's no point for me to. We've already rejected multiple times off of each level. Not really a high confidence trade for me. So we break above 66.75, we change the pivots. So this, where is it? This top level up here is the 0%. This gets dragged down to this low, and then this 100% gets dragged back up to that 70.18 level. So all you do is just flip the 100%, and the new bottom level down here is this low right here. So very, very simple on how you change levels. And of course, if we break back below 59 or 65.94, the fibs stay the same, because this is going to be still the correct fibs for shorting the rips. So we break above that level, buying the dips, break below, short the rips. Very simple game plan. That's pretty much what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So if you guys enjoyed, drop a sub, join the course if you want to learn. I'm out. Peace.